There is no question it's a Hollywood myth, the shootout on Main Street that never really happened in history. But fast draw in the movies and on TV made stars in the 50s and 60s, from Gene and Roy to James Arness and Clint Eastwood. And those movie shootouts helped create the sport of fast draw. Thanks to Hollywood, fast draw competition is thriving now in the 60th year. And since the Cowboy Fast Draw Association reformed the sport in 2002, it continues to crown the quickest gunfighter in the world in Fallon, Nevada. It may look like an old Western, but the truth is the only shootout you'll see here is between man and a 24-inch steel plate. This is the Cowboy Fast Draw Association's signature event, the fastest gun alive. Nearly 250 men, women, and children competing in good old-fashioned gunfights. It's hip shooting a steel target 21 feet away for time. If it sounds easy, think again. Your score is your time measured in thousandths of a second. And each year, the bar is raised higher.
To watch how it's progressed from shooting 7/10 of a second down to a half a second, big deal. And now our new world record is a 2:95. That's faster than the buzzer goes off on a microwave. Can you imagine that? By the time you heard the beep, the shot was already there.
No race guns here, just stock .45 caliber 6 guns, reproductions of the cowboy favorite, the Colt Peacemaker. Most competitors choose the more competitive single-action revolvers with the 4.5-inch barrel, but others prefer the long gun.
The initial design of the Colt single-action Army, which is what we use mostly, was a 7.5-inch barrel gun, so it's probably not exactly kosher to say. I've been known to tell people to put their short guns back under their pillow, under their panty drawer, and shoot a man's gun. But not enough to get them wound up a little bit.
Possum is clearly a fan, but it does take longer to draw from the holster. Regardless of revolver choice, only wax bullets are used in competition, traveling 730 feet per second, powered by the primer. But there are a few grains of black powder, mostly for effect.
In this match, we use a blank 45 Colt cartridge that has 3.7 grains of powder in it with a wax bullet. The reason we use the powder for these big matches like this, so people in the grandstands can go, oh, he fired the gun, because they see the big puff of smoke coming out. Otherwise, they go, oh, he didn't fire anything, did he?
And fast draw prides itself on being a spectator sport, with competitors making it known to folks all across the globe.
I am from Switzerland. 2 years ago, I was on holiday and vacation here in America. I went to Cabela's, the shop, and I saw the Cowboy Fast Draw, you know. And then from there, I was hooked.
But before competing, gunfighters like Honcho must pick a new name or an alias, and that typically has a personal meaning.
My name is Kaylee Stanton. My alias is Prickly Pear. I live in Arizona, and there's a lot of prickly pears around there, around where I live. And my mom says sometimes I'm a little like a pear, like sweet, and sometimes I'm prickly.
Prickly or not, it's a race for top gunfighter in each category. Man versus man. Woman versus woman. And kid versus kid. Competitors line up side by side and listen to the commands.
All right, gunfighters, settle down. Here come your commands. Shooters on the line. Shooters set.
Then there's a 2 to 5 second delay, and the competitors wait for the cue, the red light. It's best out of 5. The gunfighter with the 3 quickest hits wins. 4 total losses, and the gunfighter is out of the race for the World Championship. So he or she must be both fast and accurate to win.
Just like Wyatt Earp said,
Speed is fine, accuracy is final. Fast misses don't mean anything here. You can be the fastest shooter here, and if you can't hit a target, you're not going to be in the final rounds.
It's a process of elimination until the top 7 competitors remain in each category.
The top 7 we call getting to the dance. I've shot 14 rounds in the last 2 days and successfully won 12 of them. So now I'm in the dance. Now you got to be a good dancer.
Master gunfighter Cisco is the 2009 Fast Draw World Champion, and he's vying for a second championship title along with another top competitor.
I call him the Kid, Oregon Ranger. He's a really nice guy. He comes from a great family. His grandfather and I shot 40 years ago. He and I are the only 2 that can double it up.
Oregon Ranger is a phenomenon. He started shooting when he was about 8 years old. Oregon Ranger won the fastest gun alive men's division at age 14 in 2011. It was very special. He was the youngest to ever do it.
Regardless of age, Quick Cal is even faster to say what happens on the firing line stays on the firing line.
We get called on the line, we bring it all on the line, we leave it all on the line, and we part friends. There's a certain camaraderie that's built in our sport. It's a bond that's created. It took me a lot of years to figure this out. This becomes a family for people and a whole lifestyle for people.
Drawing, cocking, and firing from the hip in half a second. That's what it takes to make the finals of the Cowboy Fast Draw World Championships using traditional holsters and all steel 6 guns. Well, it's now down to the Magnificent 7 for the juniors, for the women, and then the men to choose the fastest gun alive. They're the top 7 junior gunslingers, ages 9 to 17, each vying for the World Championship title. The eliminations continue until the top 2 remain.
No time on one, but lane 2 has a 580.
And the final face-off is between Prickly Pear and Tank. But Prickly Pear is down 2-0, and that gives Tank the opportunity for a clean sweep. And he does it. Tank shoots a 569 to Prickly Pear's 792 to clinch the title of world champ at the ripe old age of 11.
And the 2015 World Youth Champion is Tank, all the way from Washington.
Great.
She's now from Idaho.
Really happy.
Next up, the ladies. Out of 70 lady gunslingers, it's down to the top 5. And it's a battle for 4th place between Legally Loaded in green and Lacey Gone Wild in white.
No timer, 7:56. That is 3 points. Round going to Legally Loaded.
And Legally Loaded settles it with a 7:56. Lacey Gone Wild is 5th. Next up, Ricochet Rose and Miss Kitty.
No time and a 482. That is 3 points. Round going to Miss Kitty.
And Miss Kitty advances and secures her spot in the final with a 482. Ricochet Rose takes 3rd. And now the final shoot-off to determine a world champion, Lefty Lipscomb and Miss Kitty. Here it is for the best of 5.
2 good hits, a 445 on 1. That'll beat out the 466 on 4.
And Miss Kitty does it again with a 458 and a miss for Lefty. Miss Kitty could win it here, and she does.
473 beat out a 495. That round.
Lefty Lipscomb's 495 isn't good enough. Miss Kitty from Arizona is your ladies fast draw world champion.
I can't tell you what it's like. I've only been shooting 4 years, so it's really means a lot to me.
Now the Magnificent 7 in the men's competition.
603 on 3, no score on 4.
And it's Old West out in 7th place. Moonshadow takes 6. We're down to 5 now.
Shooters on the line. Shooters set.
It's Spud versus the Draw.
462 got beat out by a 402.
Spud can't keep up. The young gun ends his run in 5th.
Put your hands together for Spud.
The draw advances to the final 4, and he's up against Tin Bender. Whoa, Tin Bender loses his balance and the shoot-off.
For that round, go to the draw.
The draw advances again, this time to take on master gunfighter Cisco. Both here are vying for a spot in the final against Oregon Ranger. But the draw's run ends in 3rd, and it's master gunfighter Cisco for the win.
On the master gunfighter.
Now it's a head-to-head race between the 2009 world champ and the 2011 world champ.
Shooters on the line. Shooters set. Wow. I have a 307 on 3. That beat out the 330 on 4. It's 1-0.
Cisco takes the first round with a 307. Can he hold the lead? No. Oregon Ranger ties it up 1-1. But Cisco keeps an edge with a 320. 2-1 now, and this could be for the win. But Cisco misses the light and doesn't even draw. And they're tied up with 2 apiece. It all comes down to this.
Shooters on the line. Shooters set.
And Oregon Ranger finishes it off with a 333. Not the fastest time ever, but fast enough because Cisco misses the plate. The kid from the Pacific Northwest is once again your world champ.
What an awesome map.
Speechless. I was just so excited. As you could see, my hat went flying. I just can't explain it. It was awesome. My grandpa started us all off. My dad got in it, and then I started shooting when I was 7. And when I have a child, they're going to be shooting too.
And with 3 generations in the sport, you better believe Oregon Ranger's family is proud.
You know, I've been in the sport for over 50 years, and to have my grandson do something like that, you know, I'm so shook up I can't even explain it. It's just the happiest time of my life. Me and the dad worked with him real hard, bringing him up in the sport and as a young man, and we got the best of both. A great young grandson and a great world champion.
Congratulations to Oregon Ranger and his family. And for our good friend Cisco, here's hoping for a better break next year, when he may be facing competition he's helped to create. Coming next, the coach and his motivated student of the sport. He is the master gunfighter with many tricks up his sleeve and in his holster. Cisco is the California cowboy on the Impossible Shots team, known for his creative challenges, like the 6-gun shuffle and racing knife and gun. But overall, Cisco is known for his speed. He is currently the world record holder in fast draw, boasting a 295.
To see a light, draw the gun, react to the target, hit the target at 21 feet, thumbing with one hand. It's an incredible speed shot.
Well, when Cisco's not training for a world record or a world championship, he's training Whitlock, and Whitlock is catching on.
Whoop, no time on 5 and a 3-7-6 on lane number 6. That'll be round of elimination going to Whitlock out of California.
I just barely squeaked by, yes. I had a 38 and a 35, so really good shots, but it took me a long time to get there.
Yes, Whitlock shot 38/100ths of a second, and for a new shooter, that's fast. And too fast if you're asking the competitor he just eliminated.
Is he a new shooter? That's not good at all because he's pretty fast. I've been doing this for 11 years, and I can't even think as fast as he beat me.
And you can blame Cisco for that. His invitation to a local match turned into James Anderson's introduction to fast draw. That was less than a year ago. Now, James is a fierce competitor known by his alias, Whitlock. And his mentor is Cisco.
Sooner or later, as the master, you have to hand the torch down to the new trainer, the new shooter. There's so many new shooters that are really strong. 3 or 4 years ago, very few guys shot under 40 hundredths of a second. Now 35 is cheap. I mean, I could name 20 guys right now that shot a 35 this weekend. Whitlock himself is down to 33. He has some natural talent. He learned really fast, and he's got a lot of desire.
And that talent may come naturally because of the drive Whitlock first found in another sport, bicycle motocross, or BMX.
I used to ride BMX for about 15 years. I was pro for about 5 years, so I'm very competitive.
So Whitlock's competitive spirit is focused on fast draw, training with Cisco.
And I want to make him as good as I can, because the better he is, the harder he pushes me, the better I get. And I need to continually be pushed.
When we shoot against each other, I always want to race him and shoot his speeds, or when I'm at a competition and I know he's behind me, it makes me a little nervous. He's got high expectations, but he does push me to my limits, and if it wasn't for him, I definitely wouldn't be as fast as I am today, that's for sure.
And to be even faster requires a serious commitment to training.
With this, it's all about a motor memory. You've got to remember where your hand is every single time to shoot that shot. So it's harder to learn. You have to put in more practice. When I'm not shooting with him, I'm at home with a laser, and I shoot about 20 to 30 minutes every single day.
With his commitment to getting faster and with Cisco coaching, James Anderson is intent on giving his coach a challenge in competition.
Like I told him, I says, you know, in another year or so, I'm going to be beating you. So that's the plan. I mean, that's what's exciting about it.
So we may very well see Whitlock and Cisco face off in the Fast Draw World Championship final next year.
It'll be an honor. And then I'll give him a good beat down, and it'll all be good.
You've made it this far in the video, and for that, we thank you. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel, and we'll keep the uploads coming.